Often we're so used to being in the same physical space as the rest of our team that we don't even think about how being distanced from them can affect how we work. Now that many of us are working from home, here at Temple University we've put together some tips for leading your team at a distance. Make the most of technology tools to communicate with your team. This might be Microsoft Teams, Slack, Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts, whatever you're using. But make sure your team is up and running and knows what the features are. You might want to run a quick online training session to make sure everyone knows where to find all the information they need. Phone calls are great, but video calls are even better. Don't lose out on the additional information that comes from talking face-to-face by making the most of video calling. We might not love the way we look on screen, but it's worth it in order to have that extra layer of communication. As a bonus, you might get to meet your team's pets, children, or family members too, which can provide some much-needed bonding and light relief. Create a schedule of check-ins that works for both you and your team, and make sure everyone knows what that schedule is. Whether you're expecting people to check in once a day via instant message, or once a week in a face-to-face meeting, make sure they know how and when to do that. And don't just set the schedule in terms of what's best for you. Sometimes working at a distance means that team members feel less supported, so make sure your team has the support and frequency of contact that they need. If your team misses your open door policy, or can't just pop by your office to ask you a quick question, consider setting up a virtual drop-in or open door room. Make sure your team has a link to your virtual meeting room and knows what hours you'll be in there for them to drop in and get your feedback in a more informal way. Find ways to motivate your team from a distance. How are you giving feedback on people's work? How are you making sure that your team feels connected and can still share the kinds of casual conversation that might normally happen over the coffee pot or as they walk through the office? How are you giving shout-outs to team members? Now's the time to get creative. Model the type of communication and attitude that you expect from your team members. Remember, you set the tone for group communications, whether that's asking people to limit in-work talk about the current situation, or whether it's actively providing a space for people to share their worries, or whether it's modeling a positive attitude even when you might not quite be feeling it. Finally, show your team that you trust them. Working from home might be old hat to some of you, but it might also be a really new move for your company, and it can take a lot of getting used to for team members and managers alike. Trust your team, check in with them frequently, but don't assume that they're not going to be working. Try to take a positive tone when you check in, rather than demanding accountability. Working from home takes time and patience for everyone to get used to, both managers and team members. With some patience, thoughtfulness, and creativity, we'll all get there. Thank you for listening. From all of us at Temple University's University College, take care, and we'll see you soon.